Kat, and this is my August book haul. So you may have noticed that I did not do a book haul last month, and that's kind of because I've been feeling a bit overwhelmed by the sheer number of unread books I own. So I decided that I was only going to buy a book if I really wanted to read it right away. So while I do have 15 books here to haul today, I have already read 9 of them, and I read them this month, so I'll be talking about them in my wrap-up in just a few days here. But yeah, for now, let's just get into these books. So first up, I have here Finding Audrey by Sophie Kinsella, and this is the Booksplosion Book of the Month pick for August. This month we're working with Random House, so they actually sent me this advanced reader copy, and since it is the book of the month, I have already read this, and I'll be talking about it more in my wrap-up, and also in the live show on Saturday. All those details are down below if you want to join us. But I just really enjoyed this book, and I especially loved Sophie Kinsella's sense of humor. Like, I just thought this was so funny, and it made me want to go out and immediately buy more books by her. And that is exactly what I did. So next up I have here Confessions of a Shopaholic and I've Got Your Number, both by Sophie Kinsella. This is the first book in a series that I've just heard amazing things about, and there's a movie adaptation, and like, most people recommended this for like starting off with Sophie Kinsella. Read this one, so I'm gonna read this one, and then this is a standalone that just had a ton of great reviews and it sounded really fun, so I picked this one up too. And I'm very much looking forward to reading both of these relatively soon, because they're fun and funny and just so easy to fly through. I'm very excited about these. And next up I have 2 finished copies of books that I already have in ARC form, but I wanted the finished copies to put on my shelf and be beautiful. So I have here Legacy of Kings by Eleanor Herman, and I actually received this from the publisher, so thank you Harlequin for sending this my way. I talked about this in my August releases video, so I'll link that below if you want to know some details about the synopsis. But it's the first book in a high fantasy series, and I've just been hearing great things about it so far. I'm especially interested in this one because the author, Eleanor Herman, is a historian, and she previously wrote historic nonfiction. And I feel like that's just very promising for a high fantasy series with courts and politics and whatnot. Also interesting is that this book is told in third-person present tense, which I haven't seen a lot, but I love present tense, and I love the scope that third-person point of view can give. So I'm really looking forward to this one. Then I have here Lair of Dreams by Libba Bray, the second book in the Diviners series. I also talked about this one in my August releases, as it literally just came out today. I wish they kept the original cover design for this one so much, especially on the book itself. Like, let's compare and contrast. Lair of Dreams, alright, standard. Nice, I mean, it's cool font, but boring when you compare it to the Diviners, which is beautiful! Like, which one do you like more? Really? Which one do you prefer? Because I feel like it's overwhelmingly this one. It's so cool. Anyways, I'm currently reading the Diviners finally, and then I will hopefully jump into this one afterwards. Even though they're both big and intimidating, but I'm enjoying them. It's good stuff. Next up, I have 2 books that I received from Penguin. Rebel Spring by Morgan Rhodes, which is the second book in the Falling Kingdom series, and also A Book of Spirits and Thieves by Morgan Rhodes, which is a companion to this series. I already have the first book in the Falling Kingdom series, and I've been wanting to get into it, especially lately. I've just been hearing so many great things about this world, and I want to jump on this bandwagon. There's a new book in the series coming out this December, and my goal is to catch up by then. So I have book 1, I have book 2, I have companion novel. I'm gonna get into this real soon. And finally, I have here some comics and graphic novels. Many of you are probably aware that I've been really into comics and graphic novels lately, and I kind of went on a binge this month. I have here 1 graphic novel and 7 trade paperbacks of the comic collections, and I've already read all of them. So I'll be going into detail in my wrap-up in a few days. I'm just gonna quickly show you what I have here. So first up, I have the graphic novel, which is Nimona by Noelle Stevenson. This actually started as a webcomic, but then was adapted into the graphic novel you see before you. I loved this one. Like, going into it, I was pretty sure I was gonna love it, so I wasn't surprised when I did love it, but I loved it. Then I have here Rat Queens Volume 1 and Volume 2. I've heard so many amazing things about this series, but for some reason I was kind of put off by the name Rat Queens, so I resisted, but then I just went for it, and I'm glad I did because I loved these two. They were fantastic. Then I have here Miss Marvel by G. Willow Wilson and Adrian Alphona. Despite all of the graphic novels and comics I've been getting into, I haven't really delved into the Marvel universe yet, so this was my first foray into that. I also have here Volume 1 of Sex Criminals by Matt Fraction and Chip Zdarsky. I bought this one kind of on a whim just because I'd heard good things about it and wanted to check it out myself. And last, but certainly not least, I have here Saga Volumes 1, 2, and 3 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. And this is definitely my favorite comic series thus far. It's just amazing and fantastic, and I love it, and again I will get into more detail about this and all the other ones I just showed you in my wrap-up in a few days here. Alright, there you have it. That was my August book haul, and that is gonna be it for this video today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a great night, and I will have another video up soon, so I will see you then. Goodbye! I haven't vlogged in a while. This is weird. I've been very slumpy lately in the vlogging sense and other senses, reading, writing, life. I've been Netflixing all the livelong day. So that's what I did. I went out and got Confess with Bapata. This was my first foray. And before you feel too impressed that I read 9 books this month, most of them are graphic novels and comics, so yeah, just don't be impressed.